Come on up. Before I formally introduce Michele, I want to share with you a little bit of background. And all of us want to make money. We want our careers to grow. But the kind of the million-dollar question is, what's the best way to do that? How should I do that? And I want to take you back about 30 months ago. Okay. And where Michele was at that point in her career. Michele will tell you a little bit about how long she's been in the business and that. 30 months ago, I called Michele into my office and I sat down and I had this idea. And Michele and I had talked, we worked on her business plan, and we talked about how could she become the #1 agent in La Palma. I think we all want to dominate a community. We want to be a powerful listing agent. That's where the money is at in real estate. And not only the money, but when you control the inventory in a marketplace, that's when you have quality of life and quality of career. So I had this idea of a way where we could increase Michele's exposure in the community and help to begin this process. And I called Michele because I knew Michele, as I've told her this repeatedly, Michele's fearless. All of us, and let me kind of clarify that, all of us feel fear. Okay? But fearless to me is not feeling fear. Fearless means to move forward and pursue your goal in spite of feeling fear. That's what really is about being courageous, and I knew Michele was that type of person. So I called her in and we had this conversation about this concept, and I want her to take that story. But before we get into that story, I want you, Michele, to share where were you at kind of in your career and personal life at that point, okay? And two is then pick up the story from where you and I had the meeting and how things have evolved over the past 30 months. The events, each one, and how things have grown and where you are, momentum. But I want them to understand, and the point of this is I want everybody to be really clear kind of where you were career-wise 30 months ago so they can understand the foundation, the beginning of that, and then they can see and visualize the journey with you, okay?
Okay, just to clarify something, I don't know if I'm so fearless, and maybe more like I like to throw parties. So Mark came to me over at the La Palma office one day and he said he'd gone to this event and he thinks that I should throw this fundraiser. So I brought in, he goes, who would you like to raise money for? And we talked about it and I thought, La Palma Kiwanis and Relay for Life. There's a lot of us in La Palma Kiwanis that we have a team. So anyway, we got the president over there, he agreed to it, and that was, I think, in January or February, and by May we had our first party at Aromas. And it was 80 people, it sold out. When you get a group of people together like Kiwanis, they help sell the tickets. So it was very successful. We had a night with the Rat Pack, and everybody went away with my pad of paper and a card and all that fun stuff. But
share with everybody where you were at, where your business was in the city of La Palma at that particular point.
It wasn't so great. I mean, I had farmed and I had a few listings here and there, but I didn't really have a lot of listings. And I don't know what you qualify as a lot of listings, but in La Palma, on average, there's about maybe 10 to 13 homes on the market at any given time. And right now, actually, I think there's a little bit more, but I have about 4 or 5 of those listings in La Palma. So, but back in the day, I struggled. I struggled a lot, I mean, I struggled to go out. It wasn't so exciting to go door knocking, or I didn't really have a vision of where I wanted to be, or I didn't really know what I was going to do. And I don't know if you guys are anything like this, but I'd wake up in the morning and kind of go, okay, I don't really know what to do today. So I end up having fun, or whatever. But now I have a vision, and I'm focused, and I'm doing a lot of the Brian Buffini things. So.
Well, okay. So we started with the first event was the evening with the Rat Pack. Right?
We've done that 3 times now. We've done we've done our 3rd year, and now I just made reservations at Knott's Berry Farm. Because we need to up it, we want to raise more money, we want to get more people, so the minimum they'll accept is 150, and so I'm looking forward to, we're going to have Elvis, and there'll be 150 to 200 people, and now we'll be able to start really raising some money, you know.
So Elvis isn't really dead?
He's going to come back alive for this party.
Yeah, so the event's doubling in size. Along the way, what else happened to you politically?
Oh, I ran for city council and won. But you know what? All the listings that I have right now are from older friends, like friends that I had, not because of city council. That does help, but you just have to be persistent and just keep going out and working hard. And
now, with where you are as your business of all followings, when you were doing these events, what were some of the benefits that you realized from that? Like, how has it helped your business as far as meeting people or getting known in the community and these kinds of things?
Well, more people know about you because we have about 30 people in Kiwanis, and then they invite their friends and family, and so there's more people, and now I keep in touch with all of them. Every time we have an event like this, we take a lot of pictures, and I make sure I have everybody's address, and if I don't know everybody, somebody will know that person in the picture. So everybody gets that week a thank you card for attending our event with pictures, my card, and then I just advertise to them throughout the year.
Yeah, one of the things I'll share with you what's been exciting about these events is not just the number of people, but who comes. The first one, we had the mayor of La Palma. I think we had the mayor of Artesia. The mayor of, was it Buena Park or Stanton?
Stanton.
Yeah, Stanton. We had the chief of police. We had the fire department.
That was not because of me, but because of other people inviting all of these people. So.
But you have the people of influence that know everybody in the community. And that event, how much did it cost you that first year? Like, how much was it in dollars for you?
I'm trying to remember. I think the first year was a little more expensive. I think maybe like $500-600. But now it's gotten a little bit cheaper. I do things a little differently every year. It's you do things.
Yeah.
So maybe like $300-400.
Yeah. So from a marketing perspective, for this annual event, the exposure that she's getting in the community for $300-400 is amazing. It's massive exposure in the community. So much so, like I said, it led to where she made a decision to say, hey, I want to continue to increase my profile in the community, and ran for city council and beat an incumbent. So that is not easy to do. So it's been hugely successful, and most of the money now. The event costs way more than $300-400, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then plus Michelle's raised thousands of dollars for both Relay for Life and for the Kiwanis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing is, Michelle and I went to lunch last week, and she was sharing some things, and I wanted you guys to hear this. Talk about the difference where, I call it the biggest challenge most agents have is what I call every day is a new adventure. Where, as she said, you wake up and you have really no idea what you're going to do for the day. And no business can run that way. You have to have systems. And Michelle got involved with the Buffini system. What she's doing on the city is literally the mayoral campaign, is what Buffini would call it. But the other part is the relationship. So tell everybody, what's a typical Monday through Friday kind of marketing system? What are some of the activities? And I see you brought some things. Tell everybody what your day is like now.
Well, I have a few buyers, so I am always constantly, looking for property or going out and showing property, and then taking care of my listings. A lot of them are in escrow, so every day is always different, as all of you know. But what I've done is I went to print free it's a calendar thing. So I printed out from about 2 months ago, we're in August, so like June, all the way until the end of next year. And I printed out these calendars. And I started, you want me to talk about Buffini? So I started out in July, and I took every calendar, I went through Buffini's website, and I went to the printing train, and I had these tags printed up. And they'll not only print them and cut them for you, but they'll punch holes, I've discovered. It's a lot easier for them to do it than me. And so I sat down and I took these calendars and I thought, okay, this month is 4th of July, so we need to do something that's, 4th of July. And then August was some seasonings. This happens to be a dip, but so every month I went through and I stapled one card to the month, so I know exactly from July until the end of December 2016, I know exactly what I'm going to do. It doesn't take that long, but at least now you're organized and you know. And then on that calendar, I wrote the week that I'm going to have my assistant help me put all these together, and then the last week of the month, so like the last week in June, I put these out because I want
How
them.
many?
I put out 100, and how I chose 100 people was people that I met in the city, that I know I have a relationship with them, past clients. If they're a past client and I don't feel like driving to Norwalk, I'll stick them in an envelope like this, have my assistant put it all together for me, and it makes it really easy. If you have, Buffini has, I don't know how many tags, but there's a lot of them in there, and they're really fun. But this happens to be something that I really enjoy. So, and this is one of my things that I do. I don't really like to do open house, but this I love.
So I want to make sure everybody understands. So 1 week a month you allocate, is that right? Is it 1 week a month?
Yeah, one day we come in here, we put everything together, I buy the bags, and if you're interested, I can tell you where I get everything, and the fabric barn down in Long Beach, you can get these bags and the ribbon. And it took us a couple hours for 2 of us to put all these bags together, and then whenever I have the time, I'll take her with me, but I could do it on my own, and go out and just put them on the doors and door knock and talk to the
So
people.
1 day a month you kind of get your whole program for the month.
And I already know from here until the end of December
and
what
then basically you allocate a week, and is it like a couple hours a day to get to your 100 people, or how do you do that?
Actually, no, it's takes about maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
If I door knock, of course, it's going to be longer because people want to sit and talk to you. But
So 4 hours a day for how many days to get to it?
just one day.
And you get to your 100 people?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
And to me, that's easier than going out and doing an open house. Because when open house, you're waiting for people to come to you. This, you're going to people. When I brought this, it's almost empty, but I didn't have one put together. But he said, he has a tag that says, I'll stick around even after you move. And oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals, which is on the bottom of every tag. And I stick this in one of those bags. It's a thing of strapping tape. And of course, I put another pad of paper or my card. And your clients love this kind of stuff. Who doesn't love to get a gift? And I try not to spend over $2 per month,
So per gift, so $200 a
gift,
month is kind
yeah.
of the budget, yeah.
But like this one, for this next month, I got these sponges, and he has a tag that looks just like the sponge. So I put that in a bag.
Go ahead and read it so everybody can see it.
I'm always here to help your referrals have a clean real estate transaction. Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. That's on the bottom of every tag. This one, I'm going to put a thing of hot cocoa, so that could cost like, 20 cents? You go to Costco. It says, the real estate market is warming up. Take comfort that you have a pro in your corner. And you stick it in a bag, drop it off. And then you do this every month. I ran into a girl that I send this stuff to her and her family, where we get our hair done. And she's like, oh, I got your thing in the mail, your envelope. We loved it. And it was this one here, because I hadn't seen her yet. So it works. And then I found these. It's called Magic Popcorn. This was about $1.50 a piece, but I bought about 150 of them because I want to give these to everyone. This is so cool. It's magic popcorn, and you put this in the paper bag, and then you put it in the microwave, and it makes popcorn. The corns will pop off, and it's something different. It's, you know, unique, and again, it's a fun thing to give away. I love to give gifts, so
So let's
it's
just
right
talk.
up my alley.
Okay, so business. You said you have 4 listings right now.
I've got 4 listings, and I think yeah, one of them is in Downey.
What are the prices for the 4?
$6.99, $5.50, and $6.19. Now, I did a shred day here in La Palma in April. I did it right after tax season, the Saturday after. And I thought, the hospital said, we'll give you our parking lot, and we'll pay for the truck, and you just advertise, because we want more advertisement for our hospital. So I went out and I spent probably about $1,000 by the time I had my nephew and his friend help me put them on every door. We printed up 3,800 flyers. It went into the Mosaic, so that's a magazine that goes out to every household in La Palma. And that day, this little lady, Norma, she said, you know, I've been thinking about selling my house, but I have another realtor that I've been talking to for quite a few years about selling my home. And I go, oh, okay, so I just talked to her, and, you know, she ended up calling me, and I listed her house within about 3 weeks of that shred day. So that shred day cost me $1,000, and I got a $619,000 listing. That's in escrow now. So it works, you know, but you have to do it. And then we also give a scholarship. And
Let's talk about that at the high school. How many times have we done that?
We've done that for about 3 or 4 years now. And I was at and talking about exposure, I was at the Orange County Fair with a friend of mine in the city, and she happened to run into this girl, and this girl goes, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, and I'm looking at her, I don't know, and she goes, oh, you give a scholarship. So I mean, and it's $250. It's for the local high school in La Palma, and Mark matches it with $250, so we give a $500 scholarship. So for $250, it's just more exposure, and that's really inexpensive. And then my name and our name goes into the program.
Well, talk about where you get the exposure, what the night is like at the scholarship event, and what they have, and how many people are there, and all
We
that.
go to Knott's Berry Farm. There's about 150 people there or so, 100, 150. And your name gets read off, and it's to all these parents that are local. And then they also have the night of the awards, where my name is in that, our name is in that program, and I can give the scholarship out if I choose. I've done that a couple times.
But tell her, what's the name of the scholarship?
Michele Stegell and Mark won real estate scholarship.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's awesome. That exposure where they read off her name in front of everybody. You know, Michelle's there to congratulate them, and the pictures and all of it.
I got a question.
yeah.
How big's your database, and how are you managing it when you go to an event and you get 150 people? Do you just throw them all in your A or B, or do you do you have
No.
two databases, or first of all, how big is it,
I
and how
have
do
to
you
get
manage
really
it?
good at that. I don't know how I manage it. I have to start. That's my next step. Well, when I go to an event like that, I don't get all their names and numbers.
Correct.
They just know me. I'm in the program.
So say you got 34. Do you just put it immediately as an A prospect in your or just add it
They
to the
probably wouldn't be A's because they've never referred me or anything, but maybe a B or a
B
C.
or C?
And you just like that drip campaign, that you just write notes and stuff. Last night I was online looking at Buffini videos again, and he said, if you want to be really, really successful, you got to write notes. And so after listening, I just listen to him all the time because out of anybody, he encourages me a lot. So I went out, I use a place called Print for Life, our printing train in Anaheim. They do really good work. And I took my for sale sign that I have out in the city, and I made a card that looks like my for sale sign, because it's all about branding, right? So I write cards on here, and it has my picture. It's unique. Nobody else has this card, I don't think. And it's